Hello everyone. So today we have war number 9, I think it's war number 9. This was an interesting exchange between me and my officers. So they assigned me this path and they were like, we need an Apocalypse to do this. And I looked at the path that they assigned me, which was 5 going over to 2. I was like, I don't think this is a good path at all for Apocalypse. What are you doing? But they assured me that this was the right way to do it, and so this is the way we did it. They assigned me Apocalypse, Cable, and White Magneto, which is actually the same team I took last war, I think. If not, it's very similar. So, I've said before, I do not believe that Apocalypse needs Cable. I believe I've also said, and I also don't believe that White Magneto is necessary for this fight. However, in Tier 1, which SX strives to be in and strives to stay in Tier 1, it's more important that we do the best we can, that we make every fight as easy as possible and as winnable as possible, and in that case, that meant using White Magneto here. So what White Magneto does is, this is Ebb and Flow Knockdown, but when he's knocked down, he goes stun immune. And what that means is that obviously you can't stun him, but for Apocalypse it also means that throwing specials doesn't really do much for you, at least throwing SP1s and SP2s. So the plan is here, you knock him down, you get that big Fury. In the case of Thing, you wait for the protection to fall off, and then you do a big stomp on his head. You can see that special did a huge amount of damage. I did not need a power back boost for this either, but I am going to use a power back boost for the second section of my fight, and I'm just going to go run all through them all at once, so I have them all here at the same time. Which meant that this actually turned from what could have been like a marginally annoying fight, basically like having to wait out for protection, having to wait out, trying to get yourself back up, all the way to a special 3. It could have been, a long fight. I don't think it would have been a hard fight, but it would have been a long fight. And it turned it into a nothing fight. Really, just a nothing fight. 2 SP3s, this guy's dead, and it took maybe 2 minutes. So next on the path is Ebb and Flow Knockdown Hitmonkey. I don't think Hitmonkey is a very good defender, to be perfectly honest. He has a really, really tiny health pool, but I understand why he's here, right? You knock down Hitmonkey, he starts to purify things, he starts to evade, and that can be annoying. So I do understand the placement, even though I think that he's just too flimsy a defender to be hard. So go in there expecting the evade, get the unblockable special, and I did throw that special while I had the Fury up. I think I probably could have done even better if I had waited. The only danger in this fight, though, I guess if you aren't expecting the evade, he evades. But the only real danger is my own tendencies to try to punish his heavy, because he's unstoppable during his heavy and a little bit after. So I want to make sure this entire fight, the only thing I'm thinking is, don't punish the heavy, don't punish the heavy, don't punish the heavy. But there you go, it's less than a minute and a half. Hitmonkey just doesn't have enough health to be a hard defender, in my opinion, anywhere on the map. So, once again, this has the right back at it node, which means he's debuff immune after he gets knocked down, and it's a knockdown, so you have to knock him down. I understand once again why Mr. Negative is placed here. If you parry him and you knock him down, you will get reversed controls. The reason is anytime he converts light energy to dark energy, he will reverse your controls, and that could be annoying. I think it assumes that I think the only way this gets killed, though, is if someone doesn't understand Mr. Negative. I haven't ranked for Mr. Negative, so I promise you I do understand Mr. Negative. So here we go. Push him to the Special 2. Special 2 is, in my opinion, easier to evade. And more importantly, if he does have light energy, the Special 1 will convert it. If he doesn't have light energy, the special one will not convert it. So I did make a mistake and parry him at some point. So he is going to reverse controls, but the less he has, the shorter that reverse control is. So right there, I finally was ready to actually throw the special, so I did parry, knock him down. He had 4 charges, so that Delirium is going to last a pretty short period of time. I still have that power back boost on, so I come back at 2 bars of power. Honestly, I probably could have thrown that SP2 right there and ended the fight. But I wanted to make sure I played it as safe as possible, so that's what I'm going to do. Once again, he has 2 charges. I'm going to wait to bait out this special. And you can see, as much as I can, I'm trying to play stun immune so I don't give him any light energy at all. So now I'm ready. Parry, heavy, and then face stomp. So 3 fights down. The next 2 are the ones that I was worried about. I was telling my officers, I don't know if Apocalypse can do this. Code's gonna be poisoning me, it's gonna be terrible, it's gonna be awful, and they were like, use a power start 1, you'll be fine. I promise you'll be fine if you just use a power start 1. So of course I forgot to use a power start 1. That's the first thing that I go ahead and do. But the next plan is get Disorient immune by parrying and then backing off, and then get to an SP2, get the power back, and do another one if you need to. So I did make it harder for myself to get to a special 2 by not starting with power start 1. It's very likely that this would already be over if not, but it is what it is. So now I just have to get myself back to the SP2. I let him get 2 of those block penetration charges. Hopefully that isn't too much damage. His specials are fairly easy to avoid. So you saw I got a paralytic poison on me, so I dashed back to purify it. I did it again. So it turns out my officers were right, and it's really, the poisons just don't do enough damage fast enough, and you can always purify them. I understand why Toad would be placed there. The Disorient could prevent you from actually purifying debuffs and whatever. But Apocalypse just does too much damage. I don't think I even used that potion there. So once again, we have my officers saying, you can take this Annihilus. Just use the last White Max free fight and you'll be good to go. Which I was like, I don't think Apocalypse is a good counter for Annihilus. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And it turns out that I'm wrong, and a rank 4 Apocalypse does a lot of damage. So, 1 point for my officers, 0 points for me on this particular war. But 5 kills and 1 potion, I think. And I definitely didn't even need it. So there we are, 43, 3, and 2. See you next one.